Alrighty. Oh. There's a kitten attacking me. Alright. I'm gonna give this thing another try today. Meanwhile, there's a kitten attacking me, so I'm very distracted. Trying some new things today. Since my last stream, I worked out a few issues with the Chiptunes music player. And I added a bunch to my favorites from some NES games and whatnot. Oh, come here, kitty. You're gonna attack me. So now the Chiptunes player, chip machine, should be properly advancing between songs now. And I've got a ton more new songs on it. Please don't step on that kitty. That'll make everything go haywire. The other thing I got going today, for the heck of it, is I got an Android phone working as a camera. Which I don't know if I set up a hotkey for that. Yeah, I did. So I set up a hotkey for that. I might do some fun things with that. Which actually, one of the things I can do is I can show you the other thing I got working since my last stream. So this thing is a crazy little do-it-yourself keyboard I made a couple summers ago. And why I call it crazy is if you look at the key legends, I tried to make this like chording keyboard thing work, wherein each of these keys have 4 functions, depending on whether I hit one of these 2 keys in some combination. So you can see from the little circles here, if I have none of these hit, it's that key. Both of them hit, it's the like top right quadrant. This one hit, that one, and so on. Terribly impractical. I tried teaching myself how to type on it, and I never got faster than like 5 words a minute or something. So it's a fun project to get to work. What's more, oops, I just bumped the camera. What's more useful with this thing is that I just got the firmware compiling again, and I can use this now as a stream controller. So I'm starting to get into some things like, I wanted to play around with the soundboard, so I can do things like and, you know, when I discover something in my code, or, you know, if I get something to successfully compile, then I can, like, unpause the music. How is the phone camera routed through the stream? That's a good question. So, I've got this app called IP Camera, or IP Webcam. It's just it's on the Google Play Store. And it can basically turn your camera into an IP camera, like an internet protocol camera. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can find a link to the page. Yeah, here it is. So you can use this app, and what's nice about this app is you probably can only see reflections off the surface of my screen, but it turns this thing, you can just see my hand, but it gets the phone streaming video from the camera via a local web server. And then in OBS, I can just add the Android camera as a media stream, or media source. So I can do fun things like this. And actually, it might be kind of fun. Let me see if I can do this without making everybody vomit. I've wanted to, from time to time, show off different things in my office, like over there is a collection of my 8-bit computers, and I may at some point do a stream where I play with some of those. And I got a few more machines over here on the other side of my office. I got a little Vectrix, and there's an Apple II back there. And I've been thinking of doing some other streams where maybe I do some boring things, like type in magazine code listings on an 8-bit computer. I say it's boring because it'd be mostly like watching me do data entry, but I think it might be a fun thing to do. And just different weird projects I can do with this thing. I first got this working when I was doing a basement stream, and I got this camera and a couple other USB cameras to work. So I'm hoping to do a little bit more with it. There's some lag to it, like if I put my hand under the camera, it takes a second or so for it to show up. And some of that is just due to like it's streaming it in over my LAN. And I might tweak with some settings, but it's fast enough for things that you mostly don't have to hear me in sync with. So it's pretty cool addition to the stream, I think. Especially if I start getting into like doing some electronics things. And now that I'm playing around with this little keypad as a stream controller, it makes a lot of things a little more natural. Like I can just kind of like, as an aside, start talking about something and then switch to the camera, switch back to me, switch back to my desktop. Those things were a little harder to do before. And I'm trying to, I may today work a little bit more on the firmware, I don't know. I've got a few work tasks I want to get done first. But just as kind of like an initial little experiment with this old keyboard, it's been pretty successful so far, because the only thing I did to it to get it to work as hotkeys is I basically made this all like QWERTY, like the first like half of the alphabet of the keyboard, but I hard-coded the modifiers so that every one of these keys is like Control-Shift-Alt-Q, Control-Shift-Alt-W, so they're like super uncommon keys. And then I can use those as like global hotkeys for OBS and all that fun stuff. But I want to play around a little more with the layers, because the layers being what the keyboard shifts into when I hit these buttons, not as handy for an actual keyboard, but handy for hotkeys. So like, I can make all this be OBS controls, but then when I hold this down, maybe that activates the soundboard, and maybe when I hold this down, it activates some other controls. It's not as fancy as, like, say, the, I forget who makes the stream decks that have the, like, the LED displays. So not quite as fancy as that, but it's something I made, which is cool. So it's basically, it's using this teensy, I think it's a Teensy 2.0 board, using something called TMK firmware. I actually got the source code to it on GitHub, if anyone should be interested in it. And like I said, it's been like 2 years, and I have not committed the new code that I've worked on this week to get the pad to work. And I can do some fun things, like there's one hotkey that automatically reshuffles the music. That was the thing I'd have to like, oh, or I could crash the music. But in the past, I'd have to actually like Alt-Tab over to the music player to do that. So, you know, small improvements to the process of making this stream. I could probably shut this phone down now because I think I'm going to start doing some things on the desktop. Is my hotkeys working again? Every now and then it's weird. It seems like OBS starts ignoring hotkeys. There we go. Okay, well it's still working, but I don't have anything else that I necessarily want to show right here for now. The nice thing about this, though, or one of the nice things about this is practically no limit to the number of IP camera sources I could route into this thing, and so I have multiple Android phones, so if I wanted to do like a multi-camera setup while I'm working on a project, I could do that pretty easily. It's not the most professional way to do it, because I've seen some folks have some pretty slick setups with like professional grade capture cards and things like that, but this is not too bad for like the spare hardware I have on hand. Well, alright. I think I might turn that off for now. I don't actually have the phone plugged in right now, but so it's running out of batteries, but just turn that off to save it for a little bit. The other nice thing now is, since I've got this keypad set up, I've got a mute button. So if I have to cough, I can do that real quick, which I couldn't do before, which is kind of dumb that I couldn't do it before. Anyway, simple things. Nothing hugely revolutionary that no one else who's been streaming for a while has. But it's new to me, so that's cool. Alright, what do I want to do today? I've got my to-do list over there on the side. I'm going to edit that real quick to reflect some things I've done lately. Okay, so here's my to-do list. That's what's hovering above my head. I did this. I actually fixed this. This is a thing that I managed to find. So I barely know C++. So this chip machine thing is kind of a challenge for me because I'm kind of learning how to hack C++ to scratch an itch. And it's not my project, but I was happy to see that I've gotten a few patches accepted upstream. And like, one that I just submitted was this one, because I discovered that my playlist, my favorite shuffle, was not shuffling. And I barely know what this code does, but I found someone else ran into the same problem. So I was basically able to copy pasta their fix and put it into this project. And it worked for me, and the upstream author accepted it, so that's pretty cool. And now my favorites playlist shuffles. Because it used to be, it would start with the Skate or Die theme every time I hit shuffle, which, I mean, it would be the same playlist every time I hit shuffle, because it would, like, whatever this shell on Windows does, it's got a terrible random number generator. I did this real quick, a little bit of C++ hacking, and frankly, this is the best way to learn a lot of times, is to have an itch to scratch and figure out how to make that thing happen because you're motivated to fix it. So who knows, maybe by the end of the year I'll know a whole lot more C++, because there's some other things I want to do with Chip Machine, which may or may not be of interest to the upstream author. For one thing, I want to make this thing mention now playing in chat. So that's a bit of code to get Chip Machine to somehow output what its current playing song is somewhere where a bot could pick it up. Maybe do an HTTP post somewhere to my bot to tell it what music is playing. I'd also like to hook it up with a chat bot and allow chat to request songs from Chip Machine, because the thing has a database of like 320,000 songs or something. So if there's like a game you can think of, it's probably in there. And Like, I don't know, I was going around last night and I was like, I wonder if it knows that game Clash at Demon Head. And it does. Like, it's got music from all kinds of NES games. Or like, I don't know, I haven't heard that one in a while. Any music from that. And what's neat is like the Nintendo songs have subtunes. So pretty much like all the music from all these games are in there. So anyways, at some point I'd like this to hook up to chat and accept song requests. Report the current song. So that's going to take a lot more C++ knowledge from me. So that might be like a thing I get into at some point. And this is what I was playing around with. This is actually kind of neat. So the keyboard firmware for this little keypad, the TMK firmware, it's really easy to hack. It's a little complicated what I'm trying to do here. I think there's probably a better way to do this. But I was able to specify the matrix for scanning the buttons on the keyboard. And then here are layers mapping keyboard signal outputs to the switch matrix. So like it's got 15 buttons plus 3 for the function keys. And here you can like define just whatever keys are going to go in there. But this got a little complicated because I'm trying to make them all have Control Shift Alt. And there's got to be a better way to do this. But it's pretty easy to do some kind of quick and dirty hacking on this thing to make your own custom keyboard. And folks use this to make full-scale, like, do-it-yourself keyboards. So I might hack on this some more, I don't know. But I should probably look at some work stuff first. Like, probably got a couple pull requests I can help out with reviewing. Maybe I'll look at that first. Oh yeah, I was going through my to-do list, which is why I'm mentioning all this stuff. So yeah, okay, so I did this. Technically I did do this because I'm using it now as a stream controller. I guess I could tinker a little bit with my insult bot. That's the activity pub stuff I've been doing. But no, I think first I'm going to do some test pilot. Do some test pilot pull request reviews since I've been asked. Alright, so that updates the list above my head there. Let's get this out of the way for now. I can close some tabs. This is where I was like investigating auto hotkey. Which auto hotkey is neat. You can script it to watch some global hotkeys and it can issue all kinds of like synthetic user interactions to other programs. And right now I'm using it to control the music player, so I can hit like one hotkey on my stream controller to make it shuffle songs. And I can like fast forward through songs and stuff, so that's all done with auto hotkey. Which that's pretty cool. Alright. Well, what I was gonna do... maybe look and see what pull requests there are waiting on test pilot. Looks like there's 3 pull requests. One of them I know is specifically flagged as wanting my review. Yeah, it looks like this one. Okay, let me take a look at this one. First, I'm gonna go over here. This is my Cloud9 setup. Well, I got a new computer coming this next week. So hopefully I'll do some more local development rather than everything through Amazon cloud servers. Okay, so I got the right version of Node going. This song gets boring after a little while. Okay, what's happened since the last time I looked at this? Yeah, mostly dependency updates, okay. I can make sure I mute the mic before I start slurping away at water, which I imagine must be nice to not have to hear that. You know, I almost kind of want to get a foot pedal and have like a push-to-talk thing with a foot pedal. I should look into that. All right, so I thought I had, so the thing I thought I had on here, which I apparently don't, unless I already got it. So there's a way that you can add, I forget what you call it, a remote, which will grab all the pull requests. I thought I did it on this project. Oh, I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, wait a minute. Checking out pull requests locally. I think this is what I want. Yeah, but there was a way to add that. There's a way to add that to your config so you would like pull down all pull requests. I think this might be what I'm looking for. Yeah, is that what it is? No. This is what it was. You can add a fetch source that'll grab all the pull requests. Let me try that. This is not what I want. This is what I want. Origin, not origin, upstream. Nope. Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, so I do this on a few projects. It gets kind of noisy, but it's nice in that it gives you a good shortcut for checking out pull requests. So then I can do a thing like this. I can say 3899. Oops. Huh, I thought that's the way it worked. Not origin. Oh, you know what I did? I accidentally called that origin, didn't I? I really wanted it to be called upstream. Oh well, I'm making all kinds of noise in my repo here. So I'm gonna have a bunch of branches laying around called origin, PR, whatever. That's alright. So, let's try that again. Okay. And that looks like the right thing, right? Isn't it? Let me see. What commits do we have that are part of this? Okay. Does this fix an issue? This fixes 3672. Oh, I know the other thing I hacked into Chip Machine. A lot of music that Chip Machine loads up does not actually have an end time, and it would otherwise play forever. So I found a way to forcibly stick a 3-minute time limit on anything that doesn't report a time limit. So this song actually has no time limit. It's repeated a few times already, but at least if I'm absent-minded and don't pay attention, the longest it'll go is 3 minutes. So that's pretty... I might lower that even to like 1.5 minutes, but it's nice that it like at least keeps going. Anyway, so what is the issue that this fixes? So to... Be nice if I can get the commit message a little tweaked a little bit on here. Because if you put fixes #3672, it'll actually fix things. Get the app modal. Only displays one mobile platform, even when Experiment has 2 available. Ah, okay, yeah, that's right. So we have experiments on Test Pilot that are available as a Firefox add-on, as a website, and also as mobile apps. So apparently we only show one or the other. Yeah, okay. Well, while I'm reading all that, let's try this. Try to get the site going. Ooh. Oh, I see. So it's dropping some frames. Because I don't have the priority of OBS set high enough, I don't think. Maybe that'll fix it. I'm just doing an npm install here because it's been a little while since I last worked on Test Pilot proper. So I think I might be missing a few things. Seen Photon Web Components on my list a few times. You've been checking out Riot v3. I don't know if I checked that out before. Is that like a web components collection? I'm guessing it's it's this thing. Yeah, but what Photon Web Components is it's gonna be, because we're just kind of starting the project, a window around here that already has it listed. We've got many projects around Mozilla that are following this Photon design system, which is yeah, there we go. This is just kind of the general system we're using across Firefox and Mozilla, and we're looking to wrap these up in like React components for at least our own internal use. If not, if other folks happen to want to use them, but it's not necessarily meant to be a fully general use set of components. But it'll be interesting to work on because we want to make it useful for folks throughout Firefox, which are enough users to make it as generic or reusable like component collection as we can. So that's one of the next things I'm going to start putting work into as the work on Firefox Color winds down. Yeah, it's basically a UI library. It's mainly going to be a CSS library. so that you can use it with just plain HTML. But I think we're also going to ship some React components that use the CSS, because a lot of our projects also use React. So it's more of an internal effort than anything, but I think it'll be interesting to kind of like stream some work on it as I get into it. Oh, okay, Riot is like React/Vue. Yeah, this is more just a UI library or a collection of components for React, or actually for anything, because the CSS, and this is one of our criteria for the project, the CSS will be usable with just plain HTML markup. And then we'll make some React components for convenience. You like ant design? I haven't seen this. In a way, it's like we're making a Bootstrap framework for ourselves, if you've ever seen the Bootstrap CSS framework. We also like to figure out if we can make a lib for WebEx with Photon components. I think we're hoping these same components can be used in panels and whatnot for web extensions. And I think we're going to dog food it ourselves on some test pilot experiments as we get into it. In fact, I think that's like one of the main reasons we're taking it on as a test pilot thing, is so that we have our own component library to dog food. And then if that's useful, other folks can use it. Values of nature and determinacy. That seems highfalutin. Reminds you need to yell at Blake and John about it. Well, those are the folks who are kind of spearheading it. We've started meeting kind of like twice weekly about it as like making it a real project since the beginning of this quarter. I don't know if we have the meetings on our test pilot menu or test pilot calendar or not. Okay, that thing installed. Oh, I know what I was looking at here. I wanted to see if I still had my start. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is weird. Since I'm running this thing up on EC2, I've got a special command for starting it. I gotta remember what my host name on this box is. Alrighty, grab that. That should be starting up. Yeah, really looking forward to getting this new computer I've got coming next week. That should be able to handle a lot more. It should have a lot more room for activities. Because this laptop doesn't like how much I'm trying to make it do. You know, like open several browsers at once and things like that. More gigabytes, yeah. I think the new one will have double the gigabytes at least. This is a nice little 13-inch laptop, but I don't think I quite accounted for how much of a downgrade from my last machine it would be. Did I make this an HTTPS server? I don't think I did. Oh, no, I did. Oh, you know what? Test Pilot has special requirements. It's going to tell me that I can't do this, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to say, you are coming in on a domain name that we don't support. Yeah. Well, to the host names. This is a fun thing to do on Windows. Run Notepad as administrator. If I remember how to do all this. Windows. System 32. Trying to remember where it is. Crud. I'll have to come back to that in a second. This is one of the weird things about drivers. That's where it is. This is one of the weird things about TestPilot is TestPilot uses some internal APIs in Firefox, and so Firefox only whitelists certain domain names to allow that. And one of them, for development purposes, is example.com. Which I see I already have set, which I don't think is this IP. Oh, it is this IP. Wait. Well, alright, I guess I hung on to this IP. Well, then maybe I should just do this. This version of this song sounds really weird. I think I like it. Let's skip this one too. Wait, this is an approved host name though. You jerk. Oh, 8,000. Dang it. This error is so picky. I thought for sure I had that baked into my little start command. Bummer. Okay, well, yeah, no, I don't have that on 8,000. Try it this way. I thought it started on 8,000. I know I've got port 8080. Might be one of the only ports that this Cloud9 server exposes to the world. That might be why I have it starting up there. Ah, okay. Maybe that did it. I know I had several ports opened up on this dev box. Ah, you jerks. It's been a while since I developed on TestPilot. I know there's like certain Firefox config things I have to set up in order to make it work. Oh yeah, but I think we're just down to one. Let's see, is this in the list of things already? No. No, wrong. Let's try that again. So what this is TestPilot needs to use some internal Firefox APIs that are whitelisted to this domain, and you have to enable it. So it's kind of like you have to flip multiple switches before exposing this stuff to a website that's under development. So you can't accidentally stumble on a site that gets access to this stuff. Okay, so at least the site is building. You know what, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. Go figure. You drink a bunch of coffee to wake yourself up before starting a stream, and you have to go take a bio break very shortly after starting the stream. You open your hosts a lot. You should write a script to help you open it. Yeah, there is probably somebody who has written a quick and dirty little Windows GUI for managing it. I've been meaning to write one myself because I do it for different projects. It's the kind of thing that I do just often enough to be annoyed and think there's got to be a better way, but not often enough to actually get off my butt and do it. Okay, where was I? So, I got the site building. That's cool. And what we're looking at, or looking for, is one of these experiments. Actually, I might have to enable it myself. So, like, for example, Lockbox is an experiment available for iOS, and I think we're about to do an Android version. Is that what the bug is about? Let's go see what that bug is about. Come on, come on, come on. My buttons are failing me. Yeah, I got the bug open here. Yeah, Lockbox. So, we want this that just says iOS right now to also list Android. And I think, you know what, let's see what the case is, because I think I've got his branch checked out right now. Yeah. Let's see what the case is right now, because where's the content? There's a directory in here that should be like... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong project. I'm not working on color, I'm not working on photon, I'm working on this. Test pilot. So we've got some YAML files in here that define the content for these things. So look at it, Lockbox. And it lists platforms are iOS. So I bet if we add Android, nothing happens. Or only one of them shows. I think when we save that, that should auto-rebuild site. Oh. So this song is one of my Amiga mods I wrote in college. Well, I didn't write it. I remixed it. So someone else wrote it, and I remixed it and redid the beat and the bass line and stuff. So the bug here is that we're not showing all the proper buttons. Oh, they're both showing. Huh. Have some happy fa. Have a good weekend, Kev. Oh, I gotta go get some pho soon. Anyway, well now I'm wondering what the bug is. Let me look at the bug description again to be sure. Because that's working as expected. Maybe I need to restart the build, because I don't know, maybe I've got code from the other branch sticking around. Oh, what? Okay, well I see it working properly. Oh, I see what happened. It didn't let me change branches because of frickin' package lock. And it must have been an error that I just ignored. Alright, let's try that. So, on master branch, I should see the issue. Why? What did I remove that, or did I? Yeah, I checked it out. Sometimes I hate NPM. I see Nightbot is working properly as my hype man. Hopefully it doesn't get too annoying with its little promos. Let's try loading this up again. Oh, that's an annoying thing. I just noticed my mute button is interacting with the shell. I might have to pick different buttons to use for hotkeys. Which is weird. It's like Control-Alt-Shift-R. It must just be picking up the Control-R. There we go. Restart. This does take a while to start up. It's doing a lot of things. It's running Webpack, it's running a few other static files, like static site generation things. TestPilot is a surprisingly complex site. Okay, so if I reload it now, only one of those buttons will probably show up. And what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to run the new code. There we go. Yeah, it just says get the app. And we want it to say I'm showing weird thing. Oh, okay. I should probably close a few windows. Okay. So we want it to have multiple buttons. And I think as I just already saw, when I switch to his branch, it does indeed work. So I like to do that first, just see if it works the way it says on the tin. And then I'll take a skim through the code. I thought I already checked this out. There we go. Let's check that out. I really hate package lock. Can I just do this? Okay. There we go. Let's check out his pull request. The site should be rebuilding itself, although... What broke? Why did it break? Ooh. Changing songs broke chip machine. That's no bueno. That's okay. I can restart it real quick. Oh, but the other thing that's cruddy, every time I restart Chip Machine, I have to remember to re-elevate the process priority so it plays smoothly. That's a bummer. I can't find a Babel. Okay, whatever. Let's do that real quick. That's the other problem. Switching between branches sometimes, when dependency upgrades have happened on a different branch, I have to keep remembering to do npm install when I switch branches. Which is also why I hate package lock. I have to play this game again too. Crystallis. Alright, that's done. Let's start the server back up. Can I not set priorities in a shortcut to Chip Machine? If I can, I haven't figured out how yet. Chip Machine, the way I'm running it right now is weird. I run it from this MinGW Unix on Windows thing. And it doesn't seem to support nice or anything like that. But that is a thing I should figure out, is how to just open it with higher than usual priority. Although, on my new machine, I might not need to do that, because the only reason I do it is there's so little CPU on this thing, and so just compiling will make the music stutter. Nearsoft Advanced Run. Check that out. Yeah, I might have to try that. The problem, and this is just ignorance on my part, I haven't figured this out yet. I've barely gotten to the point where I figured out how to compile and run Chip Machine. And it doesn't, I have to start it from this shell. It isn't just like a normal Windows program I start, because I think it doesn't have the right path to DLLs or something. There's probably a fully normal way of doing this, and I'm just kind of fumbling around getting it to work however I can get it to work. It's kind of a wonder that it does work. Alright, so that's working. But yeah, I'll have to check out that that advanced run utility and see if that can help. Hell, it's possible I might even just launch Firefox and OBS below normal. Well, that's the thing, is I launch OBS and put it above normal, and I put Chip Machine above normal, because it's everything else that's taking up the CPU, like whenever I run a build process or if I do anything. So I just kind of want OBS and Chip Machine to sit there at the top of priority so that I don't drop frames and so that Chip Machine plays. It's really just hacks to squeeze desired performance out of this stupid machine. Okay, so we got one button, but I think the reason why we have one button there, oops, that is not the editor I'm using right now. The reason why I have one button is because I had to edit the YAML. Close a few of these things to clear the decks. Yeah, there we go. Lockbox YAML. Yeah, so that's correct. There's only one button right now. But if I add Android, I should see the site rebuild itself, which it's doing, which it did. And then we got two buttons. Okay, so this pull request looks like it does what it says. Took me long enough to get to that point. Okay, now let's skim over the code real quick. 10 files changed. It seems like a pretty big change. Oh, I see. It's probably adding all this stuff. We probably didn't have that before. Any other context I should know about? The other thing that's not working on Chip Machine right now is songs are supposed to fade in and out of each other. But I think I fixed a bug, or at least I hacked a fix for a bug that makes sure it actually advances between songs. But I think in doing that, I broke fade in, fade out. I don't know, we'll get back to that at some point. Any other comments in here? So it looks like we're adding the iOS and Android buttons where none existed before. What happens if I try to install it, actually? Okay, so that gives me a dialogue prompting me to text to myself. Same thing here. Okay. That seems about right. I don't need this notepad window anymore. Okay. If the platforms include both those, we show all this. What happens if the platforms only include one of the two? Guess I'm a little curious about. Okay, so that's correct. I'm just kind of curious. I'm curious why. Oh, I see. This is specifically for a mobile device. Okay. I know this is riveting viewing, watching me skim through source code. Yeah, I see. It looks like we didn't have... Was it just on mobile? No. Yeah, I see. So we didn't have separate iOS and Android buttons before. This seems kind of awkward, though. Wonder why we're doing it this way. I'll have to flag that, I think. It just seems weird that we have basically like 4 cases here. I think maybe he's trying to work around this fragment syntax. Maybe I'll drop a comment on here real quick. Seems like there's a little bit of redundant code here covering the iOS and Android cases. You might be able to get away with just a Oops. Man. I'm still getting used to some of the hotkeys on this keyboard. And the back tick shares a key with escape. And sometimes I guess that's switching windows. Do this a little more straightforward. If I can type, which is not a guarantee. It's really awkward coding in a comment. What did I just do? Yeah, okay. This is a very cool song. So just kind of making a suggestion that this this code could be simplified. Doesn't look all right. Let's do this. Make it a little nicer. Yeah, because it looks like this code is kind of duplicating a bunch of code to show these different cases, and maybe it doesn't need to. How about that? I'm just kind of making a suggestion to see if we can simplify all these conditionals. Collapse it down into one thing like that. Actually, we could simplify it even more, possibly. Hopefully that comment makes sense. I think that might help kind of tighten up this code a little bit. Oh, I just noticed my problem. I noticed an error. Now, what's interesting about this review changes thing on GitHub is this comment isn't actually submitted yet, which is kind of nice because I can finish my review and then go back and see if things I asked earlier are actually answered later. And then I can submit it as a fully cohesive review. Okay. Oh, I see. So there's no is Android dialogue. Because if it's not iOS, it's Android. That was the thing I was wondering about. Hey, let me skim through this again, because that might be the only issue that I really see in here. I'm just curious about this Boolean state. When are we going to get to it? I think I missed it. Maybe it's not in this code. Yeah, this might be a thing that already exists. I haven't seen this code before, so I'm a little confused by it. This song's going long enough. Yeah, I'm just looking for... Where is this is iOS dialog? Where does that actually get used? And it's in... I'm totally missing it. I think it's in a file. Not modified here. Which confuses me because this must be, because I think it's in mobile dialog. Yeah, it's in mobile dialog. It's a new flag passed to mobile dialog. But mobile dialog is not a part of this pull request. I guess that's confusing me. Where's it get mobile? Mobile dialog. Mobile dialog. So I'm confused. Okay. Oh, okay. It is. Oh, okay, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. This is what I was missing. I wanted to see the use of this is iOS flag. Yeah. Okay. I found it. That explains it. Just it might help to make this a little more readable if this got broken up over a couple lines. No biggie. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is looking pretty good. Does what it says it does. Code looks alright. I'm gonna approve it. There's a couple of small nitpicks. But nothing I'd block merging over. And that's reviewed. Okay. What else am I gonna do? Where's the button for Tizen? We don't have any experiments for Tizen yet. Assuming we do someday, this code will need changes, because it only assumes 2 platforms. Were there other pull requests with my name on them? Let's see if these two need my help. I haven't really done main effort on test pilot proper in a while, so I'm kind of rusty and just kind of ducking in to help. Was I requested on this? No. Is anybody reviewing this? Not so far. Looks like Dave might be reviewing it. Who's reviewing this? John's reviewing this, I think. Yeah, okay, John's reviewing that, so I don't want to stomp on that. 3364. This 3364. Privacy checkbox is wrongly unchecked when you are returned to newsletter modal after a rejected email address. And there's a screen recording because our QA folks are amazing. Pretty sure I understand what the issue is, though. Alright, so I install, and I get asked to fill out a field, check the box, jerk up my email address, submit again, I see, and it doesn't retain. You know, I don't know that I would actually consider that a bug. Because it's requiring you to acknowledge these terms. I don't know. That's splitting hairs. It's a bug that's filed. It was added to a milestone. Someone's fixing it. Oh, way back in February. Okay, well. I already heard this song today. Let's go with this. Oh, I think I see. Maybe? See, maybe I don't see. Yeah, who... Huh. Newsletter form. Email dialogue. I guess what I feel like I might be missing is... This has been added, this set privacy function. but I don't see who's supplying this function. Okay, that looks like it there. Was that already there before? Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess maybe that's just a bug that it hadn't been used in there before. So maybe that is actually the bug that we just, because I know we use this form in multiple places. Yeah, okay, alright. I think we just weren't using it here. You know, no, I'm really confused. Because I thought this was a thing that we already had implemented. Why is it a bug? Like, what's the actual change here? I'm reviewing this pull request and fighting my own rustiness with the project, I guess. Newsletter form. Newsletter footer. Yeah, I guess I'm confused. Is the problem that newsletter form was never using this? I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. So that's somewhat weird. Now dialogue. But that's an awful title for a tab. That is not actually what I'm looking at. Let's look at this. I don't know, I want to view the actual file. So what I think is what I'm trying to figure out here is if the bug is that we've been trying to pass along something to this component that is set privacy, and the version on master. Oh, yeah, so I guess that's the issue. So, I think newsletter form. Yeah, so our existing newsletter form didn't support the set privacy function that we were giving it. That's weird. I wonder why. I wonder how we... So the way this works is this newsletter form is used in a few different places, and the containing component tracks the state for that checkbox. And whenever you check the checkbox, the form uses the containing components function to manage that state, but for some reason wasn't doing that at all. And I'm wondering like where the disconnect is. Like why are we passing this function in? Yeah, you know, it's lost in prior changes. Ooh. 2 years ago, a change I made. Did I introduce this bug? Because I seem to remember working on this. Yeah, I'm fully confused. Because it seems weird that the things using this would be passing in a set privacy helper that it doesn't use. And that the last change was like a year ago. I mean, I guess I don't need to dig this deep. Yeah, what happened here? Did we lose? Yeah, somewhere along the way we lost set privacy. And we lost it like back in the spring. This is probably a wild goose chase. Ah, here's where we lost it. Here's where we lost it. Okay. Okay, so at some point we revised the way this handles. Yeah, so the red stuff is code we took out. I'm curious, so basically this pull request is reverting this change. So it's adding this stuff back in. I'm trying to understand why we took it out to begin with. Alright, need to take another quick break. I will be right back. Alrighty, I am returning. Give you more of this amazingly exciting pull request review drama. This has not been the most exciting of my streams. It's kind of doing something else for a change. Alright, so what I'm trying to figure out here is why did we remove the state tracking this checkbox. Hello, Moto. Hello. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter so much because, oh, I see what's going on here. We removed this stuff because we're not controlling... Yeah, okay, I think I see what's going on. So we removed the checkbox tracking to stop showing this. But that seems like it was a little overzealous. Yeah, what am I making? This is React. This is Firefox Test Pilot, and I'm reviewing some pull requests. And the one in question is for this. And it should... Yeah, okay. It's not happening on the... That's happening on the footer, but there's a dialog box that comes up, and there's a checkbox that we should keep checked through validation errors. Okay, I see what we did. So when we removed all this code tracking the checkbox, we removed it because we let the browser show this error now, but we were a little overzealous in that we dropped all the checkbox tracking code rather than just this message. And this pull request restores the checkbox tracking code so that we can at least maintain state. So how about this? I'm gonna pull the code down just to make sure it works, because I think I understand why it needs to be there. This is a lot of... You don't like checkboxes anyway. Yeah, a lot of people don't like checkboxes. And you know, you should only check that checkbox if you have thoroughly read the terms of service. Which everyone does. Everyone reads all of our legal policy documents. I know everyone does. It's my favorite thing, like, you know, before bed, I print off all the terms of service that I need to read for the day. I read them at night before I go to sleep. Make sure I'm informed on what I'm going to agree to in the next day. You know, it's you gotta make some time for yourself to read all those documents. And then check the checkbox. Only then. Yeah, I got some. I should show my my binder shelf on stream someday with all my terms of service printouts. I like to do it on the old tractor feed paper from the dot matrix printers because they've got the little holes in the feed. It makes it easier to put in a binder. I have not seen that South Park episode. I should look that up. Do I have the right thing checked out? Four commits, huh? You know, I've watched South Park in a long time. Alright, well, let's start up the server if it's not already started. I have to do this every time. One day Twitch will have volume control for me and one for the music. Yeah. I'm also playing with the volume control in that I've got sidechain ducking, so whenever I talk, the music drops. But also, the music is not consistent in volume. I'm also thinking of doing some streams where I just don't talk. And it's maybe me hacking with just chiptune music. There's some nights when I'm hacking away on the couch and I got my wife next to me and we're watching TV and I don't feel like babbling away on a stream, but I might feel like streaming myself hacking and just answer questions in chat and maybe not talk until she goes to bed. I think I might just approve this one because I think I know what's going on. Hit the wrong button. That's what I get for playing with this new keyboard. Okay, I think I'm just going to comment and approval on it and see if anyone else finds an issue with it. Looks good to me. I looked around a bit to try figuring out why this checkbox state tracking code was removed, and I found that we removed it in order to stop showing a validation message. adding it back in to keep track of this state seems a good call. Doesn't make sense, does it? It's good to me. I looked around to try to figure out a bit to try to figure out. Looked around a bit to try to figure out why this checkbox state tracking code was removed. I found that we removed it in order to stop showing a validation message. But that meant we also removed the part that retained user state between validation checks. Yeah, it looks good to me. I looked around a bit to figure out why this checkbox state tracking code is removed. I found that we removed it in order to stop showing a validation message, but that meant that we also removed the part that retained user state between validation checks. So adding it back in to keep track of this state seems like a good call. I'm going to say that. I could just merge it. Actually, I'm going to add one more thing. Been a while since I've looked at this code. Am I missing anything? I think you were involved with taking out that checkbox state back when. There, so I could just merge it, but I kind of want my colleague here to take a quick peek at it too. I tried crash chip machine. I'm probably being overly cautious, but it's just been a while since I touched this part of the code, so I want to help but not trample on anything. Okay, well, I want to consider that one done, and I'm done with pull requests for now, I think. And actually, I think I'm almost done with my stream for the day. Did I merge this? Oh, I had some little comments on that. Okay, so I think I'm done with that for now. So, technically speaking, I'm done with... Isn't there a thing for, like, recently opened documents? Probably just breezed over it. Yeah, there it is. So I'm done with that. There's a checkbox over my head I just checked off. I've got to start cooking dinner soon, so I think... Well, this one doesn't need to be opened as administrator. If I open up the hosts file, it does. Yeah, not this time. I don't need hosts this time. Just doing a quick edit to the thing above my head. I never get through this list in a single stream. But I think I'm going to wrap it up for today because I need to get down to the kitchen and start cooking dinner. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'm hoping to keep this up and be back again next week. I'm trying to do it Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm also trying to get myself to do it on a weeknight, maybe a weekend night, and not do any of that stuff and do something different. So you might see me pop up at wildly different times, but I think that is going to about do it for me today. Again, thanks for stopping by, thanks for the follows, thanks for chiming in on things. Hope it was at least somewhat entertaining and not entirely like watching paint dry as I review pull requests. Pull requests? Pull requests. Oh, thanks for the follow into Stardust. I promise some of these streams should get more interesting as I do things that are not just day job work. But until then, hope you have a good weekend. See you next time. See you, bye.